What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are back with another Hot Toys figure unboxing and review, and today we are featuring Ladypool based on her appearance in the movie Deadpool and Wolverine. This is a figure that I am very excited to get, as again it's one of the figures for such a big line of collection, which we're still not even done with. There's still so many figures that are being released for this specific movie, but this up to date is the second figure released for the movie, with the other one being regular Deadpool, and we will make a lot of side-by-side comparisons between these two as they have very similar attributes. But I did want to let you guys know, if interested, I did buy the figure on Sideshow Collectibles. The link to their website will be on the description of the video if you guys are interested in purchasing your own copy of Ladypool. I also want to remind you guys, if it is the first time that you're watching me, to like, comment, subscribe, and join, as this is the channel to watch figure unboxings as well as figure previews. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing and review. Okay, everyone, so we get to the design of the box. So it's going to be the same design as Deadpool. I mentioned this during that video. The background is pretty much the suit of Deadpool with a lot of bullet holes and bullets around the whole background. We get the name of the movie at the top left, the name of the figure at the bottom, and pretty much an image kind of like in a 3D type of view of Ladypool, and in the background Wolverine's claws kind of breaking the box from both left, middle, and also right side of the box. To me, that looks absolutely amazing. It looks really cool, and again, it's the same design for the first figure. I would assume for the other figures that are going to be released for this collection, it's going to be the same thing. Here on the right side, as I mentioned before, the claws going through the other side, the name of the figure, and again the same background, which is Deadpool's suit with a lot of bullet holes pretty much surrounding all of it. So to me, I think this is a very creative background and design of the box. I really like it a lot. Here on the back side, we pretty much just get warning illegal information. We get, again, the same background, bullets so are pretty much at the top and bottom, and the Deadpool logo in the middle of the whole box. I don't think anything really changes from that first figure we got from Deadpool when it comes to the box design. And then on the left side, it just continues. Again, name of the figure, bullets, Wolverine's claws, and pretty much that's it. There's nothing much more to it. I like the design of the box. Honestly, there's not too much colors going around. I think it's nice and very good. Okay, now that we've removed the main cover, now we get to the second part of the box. So we get the best friend's heart kind of shapes for Wolverine and Deadpool once again, just like we did with Deadpool. On the right side, left and back, we're just gonna get like these sketches, you know, either from X-Men, Wolverine, the name of the figure, Deadpool logo, along with other sketches that you guys can always stop the video to look at. On the back side, we just get an image of Ladypool, the name of the figure. We get a Deadpool logo with Wolverine's claws pretty much scratching to it, and as I mentioned before, the background is just pretty much surrounded with all these different sketches featuring Deadpool, Wolverine, along with other characters of the movie. Left side, pretty much the same thing. There's nothing more to it, just different sketches. To me, it's pretty creative. I don't mind it at all. As I mentioned before, there's nothing too much to this box, but I think it's good enough for me. I like it. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with that. Okay, and now we get to the figure. I kind of want to say I think I know what to expect with this figure, but what I really am looking forward to seeing is the body proportions as well as the rooted hair, which to me was a shocker. I did not expect Hot Toys to do rooted hair with this figure, but I'm glad that they did. I think that they know, because of the hype of the movie, we were supposed to get the rooted hair. Looking at this figure, first impressions, I think she looks good. I like her a lot. I can't find anything so far that I would be bothered with. I think pretty much everything looks good. She feels very similar to Deadpool. The color, you know, and paint applications look great. I really am not disappointed at all. So I would say we're off to a good start. As you guys know, we'll take a look at accessories. We'll look at the figure in further detail. We'll do a couple of side-by-side comparisons. I have a very interesting comparison. Stay tuned in for that. And then, of course, at the end, we'll do poses and final thoughts on this figure. Okay, everyone, we get to the accessories. So there's not a lot of things going on with this figure. I think it's just pretty much the regular accessories that we would get for any type of Deadpool figure. There's definitely not as many as we got for the regular Deadpool figure, but I'm totally fine with that. It's a character that was not even on screen for more than 5 minutes, so I'm okay with this display base. I like it a lot. It's a black background with a lot of sketches and a red coloring. In the middle, a Deadpool logo with Wolverine's claws in it. And then we get a lot of weapons, kind of like if we were playing darts in the bar, which reminds me of that first Deadpool movie. The name of the movie and the name of the figure at the bottom. I think this is very creative. We also get a flight pole with a waist clamp that would go around the figure. I'm okay with us getting this because we can pose the figure in dynamic poses, but at the same time I do wish we would have gotten some type of crotch holder to hold her while standing. I think that would have been a nice idea as well, but I just don't understand why Hot Toys can include both for one figure. They always have to include one, not both options. So just kind of wanted to comment on that. We do also get the blades that obviously go on the back side of the figure. So with Wolverine, there was a magnet that went attached to the back side, and obviously the blades are removable. I would expect the same thing here with this one. As you guys can see, I am able to remove the blades or knives, whatever you guys want to call it. I don't have any issues with it. What I can say is that it is a different design. If you guys don't mind helping me, if we've ever seen this design before on previous Deadpool figures, as I don't have them. All I can say, it's a nice design, made out of plastic, colored black, and that's pretty much it. We also get Dogpool. I did not expect to get Dogpool. Now, this is a kind of different view of Dogpool. So I believe for the Deadpool figure, it has goggles. This one does not. The color applications and the shape of him is pretty much, I would say, the same. Now for Nice Pool, there is supposed to be a new dog pool created, I think with more articulations and just kind of more of an accuracy. To me, when I look at this dog pool, it looks good, but there's not a lot to kind of brag about. The only articulations are with his arms and face. There's no articulations on the backside or his feet, but I think I'm okay with that. I really don't have any issues with it. As I mentioned before, the only difference would be the goggles that he doesn't have. We also get his Ladypool's guns, pistols, whatever you guys want to call it. So again, these are different compared to Deadpool's. I don't remember if these are accurate to the movie. Again, the character was only there for a couple of minutes, so I really didn't pay attention to the actual guns themselves. But what I can say is that we are going to have options. So these do come with pretty much like a magnet that would go attached onto the belt of the figure, and also I would assume we're gonna have some hand displays to show her posing, shooting those guns. Speaking of hands, so we have a lot of hand pieces, and one thing that I really admire about these hand pieces is the color schemes that they selected for this suit. I am really loving the mixture of black and red with these hand pieces, to a point where I actually love these more than regular Deadpool. It's just that the colors mix so well. We get different designs, some with open palms, some with poses to either hold her knives, blades, or the pistols or guns, whatever you guys want to call it. So we'll have those options, and as always, the pamphlet with the instructions always tells you which hands will go with which specific accessories. Also, I love the fact that there's a lot of wrinkles within the glove, so it shows movement and motion. So to me, no complaints whatsoever about these hand pieces. And then here also more dynamic poses. These are going to be a little bit more complicated, because at this point, I guess you guys just have to get creative and create the poses that you guys want to create. So we get like a thumbs up at the very right. We kind of get like a Spider-Man type of design, some open hand pieces, the thumbs up at the top. It's like you guys just have to get creative and come up with different iconic poses. Usually I like to lean on Hot Toys' blogger images to kind of copy my poses. I'll admit to that. But again, sometimes you guys can just get creative and just come up with different things. But for now, guys, this would be it for the accessories. I think I like what we have so far. Alright everyone, so as we are looking at Ladypool, one thing that I just noticed, and I really want to apologize about this, I just noticed I did not put the eye lenses in the in the accessories part of the video. So I want to apologize about that. I completely forgot, but what I'll do is that I will just go ahead and show every eye lens piece on this part of the video by showing Ladypool's head sculpt. So to me, the shape of it looks really good. It it looks a lot like a female head sculpt. So as I mentioned before, to me the body proportions was very important with this figure, and I can tell that the head sculpt does look like a lady. Now I will say this, and maybe this is just me, the color application seems different. So to me the mask looks a little bit more of a darker kind of red compared to the actual suit. But as I mentioned before, I like the shape of it a lot. The rooted hair, as I mentioned before, I was shocked that they did this, but at the same time the hype of the movie was so big that I think that they just have to go above and beyond to make sure that this figure comes out as good as possible. This figure reminds me a lot of Catwoman as far as how the hair is designed, and pretty much it's kind of tied in this very thick and strong knot that is connected to her mask. Please don't try to remove this, guys, in any type of way. To me, I'm going to try to touch this as less as possible to make sure that it doesn't come apart within time. But to me, it is very nicely glued, and I don't see any type of way that this is going to come apart, unless I actually try to do it. But I think as long as you guys take care of the figure, she should be fine. I don't think the hair should come apart in any way. So let's go ahead and start displaying those eye lenses. As I mentioned before, I forgot on the accessories, so let me go ahead and show them off right now. And we have right here the kind of shocked expression, I would say. So her eyes are more open wide. These also came with regular Deadpool, so to me they look good, and I like the fact that we got them. We do get 4 different pairs of eye lenses. This would be the second one. The third one would be this one. So I call it the kind of emotional type of sad kind of look, or maybe just the loving type of look. I don't really know what to call it, but I would say the more the emotional also comes with Deadpool, and to me it looks nice as well. You guys can tell right away what the expression is with the character, so I like this one as well. Last but not least, we get the serious, mad type of expression. So we get the 4 main expressions for a character with this Ladypool figure. So we get 4 pairs of lenses. With Deadpool, we got more pairs of lenses, but I think that there were just kind of it's like there were 2 different mad kind of lenses, but some were just, a little bit different than others. Here with Ladypool, it's just pretty much the same. Now there is a seam line in between the neck and the head sculpt, but here's the thing, the head sculpt is not really removable, so it will come apart from the ball joint. But the thing is that it seems like it's kind of glued onto the actual suit, and I really don't want to take it off or mess it up in any way. Now getting to the suit itself, so there's different types of materials made with it. We get pretty much some kind of rubbery plastic as well as fabric, and to me everything looks very, very nice about it. And I gotta tell y'all, I am really thinking about saying that this is a better suit than the regular Deadpool. To me, the black coloring on this suit, especially on the backside as we're looking at here right now, is such an amazing and nice look to it. It's very creative, and I really like it a lot. Body proportion, same thing. This, you guys can tell right away, it is a female body, and obviously I'm not going to make any type of rated R comments because I know that kids might be watching, but all I can say is that the body proportions are very nicely done. With the belt, it is the same color as Deadpool. It is a brown colored, and thankfully no pleather whatsoever. I think you guys could find a way to remove it. I'm not going to try to do that. To me, I just rather leave the belt as it is. As I mentioned before, I like it. I've never understood why the belt has to be brown. I wish it was black, just to match well with the actual figure. And then here at the bottom, so we just get more different materials. We get some plastic, we get some fabric. It just depends at what part you guys are looking at when it comes to the actual figure itself. Right here, we also get some kind of type of plastic, kind of like if it was like an Iron Man figure. I wish I could get an explanation on that because I don't remember seeing this in the movie, but at the same time I didn't pay attention. But those pieces make it seem like if it was like an Iron Man suit, and that's to me very creative on the figure. It's kind of like a gauntlet piece on her wrist, and it looks very nice. As I mentioned before, this is where her guns go. So with Deadpool, we had these pockets where they go inside the guns, but here we just get a magnet piece that goes connected. And what I like is that the magnet goes only on one side, so that way you guys can tell specifically where each gun is supposed to go. So as you guys can see right here, this gun specifically goes on the right side, and the other one would go on the left as well, and there's no other way you guys can switch it around. For the blade pieces, same thing, you guys can just attach it to the back of the figure. Now her shape of her body does make it a little bit tough since it's not flat from the back, so it's hard to kind of install them, but just make sure you have her in a very standing still position to avoid any issues with those blade pieces coming off. To me, just looking at the figure, she looks good. I really can't find any complaints too much that I can think of. So let me know if in the comments if you guys can think of something that maybe is not the best thing about the figure. Looking at her boots as well, same thing, just everything made out of plastic. This is probably an issue that I could possibly find, and that would be her ankle joints. So there is a split kind of boot cut design, but it's so tight that it's going to be a little bit hard to pose this figure. And Deadpool is a character that you have to pose in a very dynamic pose, so I might not get that option with this figure specifically. But well, at least to me it looks a little good. So the good thing is that it's not actual heels like maybe a Catwoman, so at least the figure would be easier to stand than her specifically. Just everything else about the figure looks good. As I mentioned before, the body proportions look great. The suit itself is amazing. The coloring of it is, to me, impeccable. I have no really big issues with this figure. I can't really find anything. And again, at the same time, as I mentioned before, a figure that we only saw for 3 to 4 minutes in a show, it's kind of tough to kind of duplicate and also come up with accessories that might match this figure. But the good thing is that she's just another Deadpool, so there are some things that can come included with this figure specifically. So now that we've pretty much taken a look at the figure fully in detail, I don't think there's anything else that I need to cover. Let's go ahead and go over articulation. So obviously the regular Deadpool to me was very nicely articulated. With this one specifically, starting off with the feet, there is no articulation at the bottom. Now, as I mentioned before, this boot is connected via a ball joint to the actual leg. It moves top and to right a little bit, but not as much as regular Deadpool. It does swivel to the right and left, and it does completely turn around as it is connected in a ball joint. So no issues there. On her legs, they do move to the left side. You guys have to really be careful, as some of those kind of straps that go around the figure could end up breaking if you move the leg too kind of quickly. So just work those legs as softly as you possibly can. The leg does swivel left and right. Her knee does go up all the way till there. And then also, if you guys go to the back and do the same thing, it does almost go all onto her behind. From her waist, she does move to the front a lot, but not as much as I expected. To the back, same thing. It moves pretty nicely. To the sides, pretty nice as well. It does swivel. You just got to be careful, make sure that nothing comes off. And then also to the sides, it does move very nicely, so no issues whatsoever. With her hands, very nicely as well. Now, there is a fabric in between her armpits, I would say, so you guys have to really be careful with that as well. You don't want to tear off anything. So again, whenever you are moving off the arms, just make sure that you move it in a very nice excuse me, in a very nice and patient kind of manner, because you guys don't want to tear anything apart. The thing is that her arms would pretty much just be connected separately compared to her chest area. The helmet, same thing. Well, the mask, it moves side to side. And as I mentioned, just with like the other parts of the figure, you guys have to move it in a very soft manner. This part of the video took me a while to get, so as you guys can see right there, it came off already. So that's something that does happen a lot. The helmet comes off, the mask, my bad. The mask comes off very easily, so just make sure to move it nicely so that way it doesn't come apart in any type of way. So I would say the articulations are good, but not as great as I thought they would be. No question, they're better for Deadpool. Okay, everyone, now for a quick side-by-side. So this was obvious. We had to get Deadpool in here. Both of these characters are from the same movie. I also went ahead and brought Babypool. Why not? By the way, this is how I have my Deadpool currently posed with Babypool, and also all of his golden guns as well. But both of these figures have a lot of similarities. The materials that they use for the suits, they're very nice. I would say that Deadpool is just much more articulated and better well put together, and there's less of a fear of anything kind of breaking or coming apart. Like, for example, with Ladypool, my fear is that right there with her arms, since they're connected differently to her chest, something might end up breaking whenever I do end up moving the arms in a certain specific way. So that is a small fear that I have. Same thing with the head sculpt. I don't have that fear whatsoever with Deadpool. I mentioned at the beginning of the year, at the end of the year, that to me Deadpool was one of the top 5 figures released in all of 2024, and I stand by that. Such an amazing figure with so many accessories and no flaws that I could find. Ladypool, I would say, is a good figure, but not as great as I thought she could have been. There's small flaws, I would say. Another thing that I'm a little bit disappointed is that these two didn't really get a lot of screen time together. Knowing that it's Ladypool, Deadpool, you would have expected to see, I guess, more scenes together. But Ladypool was only part of the movie for maybe a couple of minutes. I thought she would have a bigger role, right? Unfortunately, she didn't. I don't even remember if she had any lines. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So that's something that kind of bothered me specifically, but either way, I'm glad Hot Toys made the decision to release this figure specifically. And well, here we have them, both of them together, the first 2 figures of this collection line. Next, I told you guys I had a very interesting side-by-side, and it's Catwoman from The Dark Knight Rises. I always like to preface my by saying that I don't like to do side-by-side comparisons that don't make any sense. And yeah, I guess this one doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, we're talking about a figure, from the MCU/Fox kind of, universe. And then we have one from DC, right? The only reason I have them side-by-side is because to me, these are the 2 best female body built figures that Hot Toys has ever done. For me, both of them they're very similar as far as body type and how well the body proportions were made. The fact that it's a single suit put together, but just different colors, but they both have a belt and they have gloves, and one of them does have actual heels. The other one is kind of like heel tap close shoe, I would say. They both have their weapons and things like that, and let's be honest, they're both very attractive, right? They have great body proportions, and Hot Toys did a really good job of making these 2 figures. So that's why, to me, I thought it was a comparison that made sense, because they're very similar in a lot of ways, even though they're from completely different universes. Okay, everyone, to finish off the video, a couple of posts and my final thoughts on this figure. I take my thoughts back. I like this figure. It's a really good figure. It is, it's not one of the best figures ever, obviously, but to me, I like it. As I mentioned before, for the 10th time, the body proportions are good. She looks absolutely amazing. I love everything as far as like the poses that I can come up with and the accessories that it comes up with. Again, this is a figure that, as I mentioned before, was not that much on screen. It was very short, and I thought she would have been included for just more scenes specifically, but it's okay. I think that the fact that Hot Toys either way decided to make a figure for this figure specifically is good enough for me. There was that question whether if Blake Lively was the one that played this Ladypool. According to what I saw, she wasn't. But either way, I think that the costume design was very nicely done by Hot Toys and also by Marvel creating this movie. So the figure in its own is good, great, I would say. Not perfect. There's certain things that I didn't really like, but still in all, just looking at her right here on my spinning wheel thingy, right? She looks really good, and I like her a lot specifically. Let me know in the comments, as always, guys, what do you think about this figure specifically? Let me know if you guys did purchase her, and if you guys haven't and are interested, as always, we'll include the link to Sideshow Collectibles, where you guys can go ahead and purchase her if interested. Also, guys, I wanted to make a quick announcement. So being in the United States, as you guys know, I would say pretty much everybody knows at this point, TikTok has been banned. Who knows if it's going to be something forever or temporarily. So for now, unfortunately, we'll not be able to post any content anymore on TikTok. Right now, everything is going to be posted only here on my YouTube channel as well as on my Instagram. So from now on, I will only include the link to my Instagram account on the description of the video if you guys want to go ahead and follow me. For those of you guys watching me who have followed me on TikTok, you guys can also follow me on Instagram. I post the same content there. So just kind of want to make sure that I let you guys know that. So for now, guys, thank you as always for supporting and for watching this unboxing video for Ladypool, and I will see you next time.